Welcome, Freemen, to the Constitutional Update. I am DaWolfsDen, and with me tonight is Godfather Flightforce. Almost called you Grandfather Flightforce.
I
Well, you've
guess
got
that's
gray
appropriate.
hair. Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
we got some holes. I'll fix that hole.
we got holes. That's a great way to start. A good evening, Freeman. This is supposed to be quick. We got holes. Um, yes, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into what's going to go on, Freeman. I want to be able to fill you in. The King has, of course, doing another one of these quick videos with me as he goes ahead and patches that hole, and I avoid us getting shot at. This is effectively what's going to start happening tomorrow morning, first thing. Effectively, what's going to happen tomorrow morning starting is you guys are going to have the release of what the officers consider their best idea, their best proposed constitution. Now, even though they think they're giving out the best thing, that doesn't mean the Freemen think it's the best thing. Now, I know, Wolf, this was initially primarily your idea, and do you want to kind of elaborate on the overall gist of what's changed so that they can have a heading going in?
Yeah. So if you didn't catch the last video, basically what has changed is we've made it simpler, simpler to read, simpler structure. So we have parliament members. We have that is basically the officer corps. What used to be the king and head counselor and NEO are going to be Lord's Council. Lord's Council is are basically the guiders. We help administer, help everyone administer the infrastructure. Then we have the Common Council, Council of Commons. They will be who are now the officers. Parliament is all the people that were officers. They are that are officers. So the current officers are going to be in Parliament. That includes who used to be the king, head counselor, NEO, everyone that is a GSO, NSO, and any NOs. They are all now Parliament. So nothing else has changed as far as freemen are still freemen. Y'all are still freemen. Vested freemen are still vested freemen. We kept it simple. We got rid of the networks, and we got rid of admin. We got rid of all that. It's now simple, stupid. I like to keep it simple.
Keep it simple. All right, so let's talk about what I'm going to start doing and what's going to happen over the next week for all of you out there. Effectively, starting tomorrow, you're going to see a new additional channel just pop up, which is just going to say EA log. What that is emergency action log. It's the ability for me to track your feedback, the ability to see what you think about the new Constitution, what you like about it, what you dislike about it. There is no wrong answer. There is also no stupid question. So I want you all to feel free to use that as much as possible. I'm going to be as active on it constantly throughout the week to keep you all informed of what's happening, what's going on. I want you to be active in this. This is your chance to truly speak up as a Freeman. So, tomorrow morning, the Constitution is going to drop. It's going to be a link that you're going to be able to view. You're going to be able to read every part of it, and you're going to be able to then kind of tell us what you think. On the actual post that will show you the Constitution, I'm going to have a check mark, an X, and a question mark. If you approve of it in its current state, I want you to hit that check mark. You're like, you know what? I like the way it looks. I like the way it sounds. This is what I believe in the Freeman. That's what you're going to do. Check mark. If you find something you don't like, or you're just not sure, X. If you got something that you're questioning, you think that needs an overhaul, the intent of it is a worry, put the question mark, go over to the feedback section, and go ahead and start talking about why you put that question mark. Effectively, if you place a question mark on this, you're saying, hey, Flight, come talk to me. I need to know what's going on. If you ixnay it and you put a nay on it, I will still ask you, but you do not have to explain yourself to me in any way, shape, or form. So this means if you find a grammar issue, pop the question mark, I'm going to come to you. And we'll fix that grammar issue. If you say, find something that you're like, you know what? No, I don't agree with the parliament. You know what? I don't agree with the changes. Nope, denied. Deny it outright. I want a new system. I want new constitution. Or you can deny it and say, I approve of everything, but it's denied because of this one section. And then tell us that section. It's that simple. I'm going to make sure to go ahead and write all of this out in an attachment, but I want you all to be very well aware. This is your speaking time. This is what's important to you. This is what you need to be paying attention to, because this affects the Freemen as a whole. As I stated in the earlier, I am simply here as an administrator. It was determined during the initial start of the emergency action that there was a possible flaw in the Constitution that needed to be reviewed. I, as a Godfather, have the capability to make unilateral decisions on flaws in the Constitution. However, per the core value number 2, integrity first, I think that is an absolute abuse of power if I were to go change this Constitution with only hearing what the officers think. So I want to know exactly what you think. Do not be afraid to use the EA log to communicate concerns, questions, thoughts, additions. If you think the name is weird and you want to change the name, mention it. Let's talk about it. That's what's important. That's going to be going on all week. From Monday through Friday. It'll be closing out at the end of Friday. At the end of Friday, if the majority of Freemen, after asking questions, have removed their marks from the nay and the question mark and placed it on the approved, we will take that as an example of this Constitution is acceptable by the Freemen, and we will move it on to the next stage, implementation. If by the end of the week we just have more questions and more nays, then it will be going back to the officers and it will be getting reworked on their end to make something that you approve of. So I just want you to be aware of your power here. This is all Freemen's powers. These are all Freemen's rights. My goal is to protect you to the best of my ability as Godfather per the old constitutional regulations. And I want you all to be well aware that I'm here protecting you, fighting for you, and I want you to speak up. Even if you think you're about to say something that you disapprove of, because let's say King DaWolfsDen just happens to speak to you in a way you don't like. And you're like, ooh, I don't want Wolf as a Council of Lords. That sounds good. That sounds bad. You can DM me. You can message it out in public. The officers are not going to be allowed in this. This is just me and the Freemen. And the plan is for you guys to truly have a voice in this matter. They've had their vote. They've had their say. They think they have a solution. Now it's your turn. And I want to make sure every single one of you come out happy. Like I said, if you have any other questions on the issues, starting tomorrow, you'll see that new channel, EA Log. Please use it. Please talk to me. Let's make sure you all are happy. Wolf, back to you.
And remember, if you have any feedback, whether it's about the EA, whether it's about the Constitution, whether it's about, someone did something, you didn't like it, you want some feedback and you want it to be anonymous, we have the website. The website is completely anonymous feedback. A log gets sent to all the officers, and Flightforce has access to that log as well. So if it's something to do with EA, he will see it. If it's something that you feel uncomfortable talking to him about, or to me about, or to any of the officers about, put it there. You can put your name, you can put your email address, you can put information there, but those are all optional fields. So if you will just want to let something out, the officers will hear it, Flightforce will hear it, I will hear it, and we will see it.
I want you all to be aware, for the Godfathers, for those of you who don't know me, for those of you who didn't see how this was all initially founded, our entire mentality is that the Freemen are the people. It is the responsibility of the officers to work to support those Freemen. If they're not willing to do the work, they shouldn't be officers. DaWolfsDen remembers that very clearly when he took training from me. So,
Oh, yes.
I want you to be very aware that in my mindset, you all are above the officers. You have the final say, and what you say is important. I am here to be your advocate. This all started because one person messaged Flightforce over 2 months ago and said, "Hey, Flight, I'm worried about some stuff." And I went to bat for him, and I've been batting for him ever since, and I still never released his name because the officers don't have the right to invade his privacy. And I want you all to be well aware of that. That is my mentality. You are the Freemen. It is their job to serve you, and it's my job in this situation to represent you. I'm going to make you proud every chance I get.
Very much so. As always. And as we always like to end here with the Freemen of Nassau, I just want to say thank you. And we are the Freemen of Nassau. We game together. We die together. Wah! Very nice.